Hello, folks. This is Steve, AB4L. I just did an almost hour-long episode about something about that one there, and there was this link to CyberInt company in Israel, a cybersecurity company in Israel, and near the beginning, what I did is I right-clicked on the image that's at the top of her blog page on this topic, and I opened image in new tab. There it is. And then I copied the full URL because in order for the browser to render the page with that image, it had to go and request that image to be sent to my computer. So I was interested in the way it was named. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a little smaller. Or maybe I can just do this. This irritates me the way the cursor works in, okay, I'm going to make this a little so you can see it. View, font, I've got it at 42. I'm going to make it 32. Good, you can see. Okay, so it's https cyberint.com wp-content. WordPress. Actually, that's interesting. WordPress has been so thoroughly hacked in the last year by various adding things that I wonder why a cybersecurity company would be using them to create their web pages. But that's a stray thought. So it's a WordPress setup, uploads 2023-08, that's the current month. And then I'm going to make that slightly smaller. We'll make it 26. Good. And then the file name of the image of her is Shai Yatsik CFO 29. So if I just take that address and I open another browser, and I just put in that address, that picture should appear. You see? Anybody can retrieve it. It didn't have to be retrieved by my browser in the context of a WordPress HTML page that was sent down from them. Now, since the name of the CFO has nothing to do with her name, Coral Tayar, I thought, why don't I change the 29 to 28? Behind the mask of the anonymous Sudan. Do you understand what I just did? The one with the 29 is her picture, but I just changed that and hit enter. Let's try 27. Shmuel Gihom. Shmuel Get home. Research team leader. LinkedIn. The search engine says that he used to be there. I wonder if he got hit by the hack that article was about. Or he doesn't work there anymore. But given the number of the visual, it looks like it was a recent article. Let's change 27 to 26. Not found. Let's change it to 25. For whatever reason, they skipped 26, or something went wrong. Oh, but wait a minute, this is a repeat. Let's go for 24. Maybe they wrote more than one article about it. NeoNet decoding the reign of the cybercrime mastermind. Let's go down to 14. Okay. Let's make it 15. We're finding out that he's thrown away the early ones. Let's make it 05. No good. Let's make it 20. Now they're either catching on to me or 21. Now this is going to be an interesting experiment. Let's just go back up through the numbers because we know we saw certain ones. 22. No. 23. No. See, I'm just playing. I'm hacking them. Okay. Now, what was her number? Her number was 29. Shall we try 30? Okay. 31. 41. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to check whether they have security. Before I actually hit enter, I want to show you something. Now, my mind is straying, but I just wanted to hack around a little bit. This is what I'm going to put in. Now, here's the way it works. In the early day of the web, like when I was working as a consultant advising customers who really, like I was supporting a product that was used as a main product for people to get onto the web back in the early 2000s, and we get a call from .mil, military website. We're setting up a new website at such and such an army base, and after getting ready to put it on the web, we're required to run a security check, and there's a tool that we run, and it came up with these problems. Can you help me with this one? And what it would be is, if you have an address like this that just ends in a, like that, and you click on it, this is way back. Now, notice what it says. This website knows that I'm trying to see the content of that folder directory on some computer, whatever that address points to. And they are not going to let me see what's in there, but they've gone beyond. What I would tell the people, I can remember, had 3 or 4 different calls from military people who were setting up a website. I said, what you need to do is the way you have it coded right now, you don't have an index.html file in there. And because of that, when they don't specify a file and they just end it with a slash and it's pointing at that physical directory, the default behavior of the web browser of our product and web HTTPD web server is to give you a complete directory listing back into your browser, so people can see what you got on your computer. If you put a file called index.html and they use just a slash to address it, that's what will be sent back to whoever's doing it. And what you do is you have a file called index.html and it has nothing in it. Or you can just put 1 space. And that's what they'll see on their screen, a blank screen. It won't give an error, but they won't see anything that's in that directory. That's what the security alert was about. Just do that. All your directories, and it'll be taken care of. But this is more advanced. They know I shouldn't be doing this, and they're telling me outright, we're watching you. Yeah, why would they say? They could just send me a blank page. You don't have permission to access this resource. Forbidden. And it's logged in a security log. They want to see who's snooping around in there. But they're being kind to me. We're on to you. Forbidden. We know who you are. That's implied. I can shorten it. It ends in /2023/80. I can just take off the /80. It'll do the same thing. That looks like it didn't do anything, but it did. It's returning the same thing. Now let me take it one more off to uploads. It's the same thing. Now let me just take the slash off the uploads, but leave the uploads there. Still the same thing. Now into WordPress content. Oh, I didn't expect that. This is an error. This is an error. They didn't say forbidden. That's a defect in the WordPress. Let me just take the slash off. It put the slash back on. And WP-content is the anonymizer gateway firewall that WordPress uses to keep you from seeing the actual content of the machine that it's running on. And if I just take the WordPress content off, there's their home page. Correct. So, for whatever reason, there were a series of, this is a cybersecurity flaw, and it's at cyberint.com. Now, what I did is I'm clicking the back. Now, remember, these are cybersecurity analysts using WordPress, which is used humongously worldwide, but has huge security flaws. The hackers are going to town on it. I've shown you this sort of thing. You notice how they gave a specialized page to say forbidden, you don't have permission to, but they didn't give the HTTP error number. But whatever path it was that this is down, wait a minute. Let me show you what the current, I've clicked it back far enough. Here's what's up there. It's one I experimented with, the one that was 30 that said, but what I didn't notice about the 404 page, and this is the cybersecurity error, is they're telling me what their server is, what software they're using. When you want to hack somebody, you want to figure out what the physical hardware is in case there's already exploits known for that operating system, that web server, that load balancer, that firewall. If they will tell you the actual name of the one they're using instead of making you figure it out the hard way, you're ahead of the game as a hacker. Because there's a whole inventory of known hacks, especially as recent, just this last couple of days, where people are now on a certain kind of machine. They're going after a really old flaw, because there are actually still some machines around that are so far back in their software, and now they're an important target. And maybe not a bit, or maybe now the cyber hackers are getting around to them, and they've got an easy back door. CyberInt is not a very good security company. If they would actually let me know what, just as I worked for an internationally known, internationally operating IT company, my last position was supporting a major web presence software product worldwide. A third of the commercial websites in the world at that time used it to have their web presence. There were hackers back then too. Once they figure out what your product is, they buy the same product, they set it up, they know how to break it, and then when they get into a website that's using it, they know the whole layout. It's a shortcut. This is a well-known web platform. It didn't exist when I was working, or it was just beginning. NGINX. Nginx is a web server that can also be used as a reverse proxy, load balancer, mail proxy, HTTP cache. That's for edge services. Yeah, I was right. They were just being invented when I was still working. Correct. back in the early 2000s. As of June 2023, this web server stands first worldwide in terms of usage as one-third of the websites of the world. Apache, which we used to package with our product, stands just behind that with almost another third of the world. And Cloudflare comes in at about a fifth, and then there's some others. So it's a cybersecurity investigation company, and their site is not clean and it's not secure. Not fully. Not in the most rudimentary way. Sure didn't expect this when I started to just play the little game with the image files. Steve AB4L. Just having fun. Carol Tayar, thank you very much for letting me have fun with the image file. Steve AB4L saying see you in 73.